Okay, we are live. All right. Hey Corey, how's it going? Wait for some people to come on real quick. I'm about 7 minutes late tonight. Sorry about that. All right. All right. All right, we got one, two, three. All right. Corey, good to see you. Cindy D, good to see you tonight. Hit the like button. Yes, most definitely. All right. NW, good to see you. All right. Okay. Tonight I'm going to talk about interracial relationships, interracial marriage, opening up your option. Interracial ready? All right. Yeah, and I got some videos to show. One of them I've shown before, and it's a Stanford professor that talks about how black women should open up their options, how they should date and marry out to men of other races. And he looks at it logically, and the reason he comes up with it is because he's looking at numbers. He's looking at it logically. And single vortex, how's it going? And he makes sense because the numbers, just don't add up because there's more women than men, and especially when you're in the black community, there's more women and than men, and the men date and marry out 2 to 3 times what the women do. So it creates an imbalance. And hey, Miss Anita, how's it going? Good to see you. Um, so I thought I'd show these videos, and before I start, let me get the Fair Use Act statement up here. Forgot to download that. Let me put that up real quick as I'm doing that. Let's see. Before copyright disclaimer. Okay. Okay. All right. I just had to download the copyright disclaimer, the Fair Use Act, and that's what we're going to use. I'll go ahead and read it to you. I'll put it on the screen right here before we get started with our videos. Cece, how's it going? Deanna, good to see you. Yours truly, Miss Anita, always good to see you. Corey, good to see you, brother. Hey, Loren, good to see you. Okay, let me go ahead and put this disclaimer up real quick. Okay. All right. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for the purpose such as criticism. We're going to do that. Comment, news reporting, teaching. We'll learn a little something. Scholarship, research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might not otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, personal use, tips in the balance favor of the Fair Use Act. Okay, so what we're going to use is these news articles.
Marriage.
Okay, sorry about that. We're going to use this as education, as commentary, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Okay, and this is from CNN, and they brought in this professor, and he's encouraging black women to open up their options to date out. Okay, so I got 2 videos. This is going to talk about his book, but let me go ahead and get started, and I'll stop in between, and we'll talk about it. Okay, let's go ahead.
I'm not asking it, but somebody else is. I'm not asking it, but somebody else is. The question is marriage for white people? That's the title of a controversial new book that examines the state of African American marriage. And Stanford law professor Ralph Richard Banks,
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. Okay, this was back in 2011. Okay, so this has been a while since this book came out, and the Stanford law professor is making the case that black women need to open up their options, that they need to, marry and date out, and he's going to explain why. And let's go ahead,
He wrote the
continue.
book, and he's here now in the newsroom to talk about it. Sir, thank you for being here. I believe the book just went on sale. So let me just start with this. Don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you saying that black women who want to get married should get over the idea of marrying a black man?
Well, what I am saying, the book covers a lot of ground,
Yeah.
but what I am saying, TJ, is that black women do lead the most segregated lives of any group in the nation, and they would help both themselves and the black race if they more frequently married men of other races.
Now, how does a
That's
black
the bottom
woman
line.
help the black race if she essentially does something that other than form a black family?
Well, that's a great question. And she helps the black race because simply by opening herself to men of other races, she helps to undo the power imbalance between black men and women, which is really at the root of so much of the problem.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Okay, what he's saying is if they open up their option, it alleviates the power balance. Okay, and when there's more women than men, and looking at it logically, and that's what he's doing, is men can pretty much tell the women what they want. They have the power because there's less men than women. If you're staying inside that box, if you're not opening up your options, so it creates an imbalance, and thus you see a lot of these dating coaches telling black women to date down, lower their standards. And it makes sense because men, there are less of them, and they date and marry out twice, two to three times as much as black women. So it creates an imbalance. So the ones that are left, they pretty much run the table and telling black women what they want. And if that's all you got to choose from, you might have to lower your options. You might have to date down, you might say, or marry down with someone that makes less money than you, less successful. And what he's saying is if they open it up, you take away that imbalance, then men have to compete for you, and you get a better choice of men. You really do, because you got all races instead of one racial group. It's like you're picking, starting out from a pond and going to the ocean where you get better quality, more men competing for you, and you get, and it makes sense. Then you're going with someone at your economical status instead of just your race. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue.
As it is now, black men have a lot of power relative to black women because black men are scarce, and that leads to a whole host of problems.
Okay, you say black men are scarce, and I pulled this quote that you gave to one publication, and I'm quoting. It says, "It's time for black women to stop being held hostage by the deficiencies of black men." Now, I have a college degree, a job, and a good credit score, and I'm even offended by that. What do you mean by that? It sounds like you are putting black men down. We've got our issues, but a quote like that is going to fire some people up.
First, I want to know, are you sure that I said that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's attributed to you.
In fact, in one of my more inflammatory moments, I think I did say that. And the idea there is in essence, a lot of people say, sure, black men are not doing well. That leaves black women unmarried. In fact, black women are the most unmarried portion of our population. Yep. Even college-educated black women are more unmarried than college-educated women of other races. So a lot of people say, look, this is a problem. Twice as many black women as men graduate from college, but we can't solve it until black men are doing better. And in essence...
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Okay, so what he's saying is black women are twice as many to be college educated. Of course, there's more black women, and to be fair, women as a whole are more educated than men. Even when you go with white people or other races, usually they are. But there's such an imbalance, and like I was saying before, and I think what he's getting to is the women want to be with someone at their level where they're at, education, economics, and when there's less men, they can't have that. I mean, logically, you know, there's less of a chance. Not saying it can't happen, but you know, there's an imbalance economically, educational, and only 1 out of 4 black women get married approximately, right? So that leaves 3/4 out there. Or let's say that skewed maybe a half. It's still a lot of women left out there. And if they're going wait around and only date from their racial group, they most likely going to have to settle for a man that makes less or less educated. And you know, the stats reveal that it's true logically. You if you want to get a guy at your own economic level, you have to open up your options. And black men also are dating, marrying out 2 to 3 times more than black women. So that even creates a bigger imbalance. So the good ones left are scarce and you got to compete. So then the men get to be the prize. And then you're, instead of them competing for you, you're competing for them. But anyway, let's continue.
That's saying until black men are doing better, black women have to suffer all of the burdens that come with raising children on their own, with not having partners, with dealing with the singles world that's not very not very enjoyable.
But we talk about a suitable partner, and you do. If you have a college education, sure, you'd like to have somebody who also has a college education. If you're making a certain salary, it'd be nice if the person you're marrying has a comparable salary. But it seems in some of the theme of your book, you're saying if you marry someone who doesn't have the same education level or make as much money, and I think you use the word, another quote, that you're actually marrying down in some way.
Oh, you're going to make me be careful about what I write from now on.
Please.
But no, that's exactly right. Now, it is, of course, relationships can work, and you should find love wherever you can, right? And so...
Okay, let me stop right here. Corey, you had a question. I just saw you on the comment section. How fast do you think racism would change if 5 million white men and black women got married? I think race relations would get a whole lot better. Most definitely. Would it end racism? No. You're never going to end racism. But what we can do is we can suppress it, push it in the closet, and people that are racist not let them be comfortable with coming out with their racism. We can suppress it. We can make it, you know, something that's a stigma. But yeah, that's a good question. I think it would help race relations. I believe that interracial marriage does help race relations because we really get to know each other. Okay, me being married to my black wife for so many years, I do get to know black people, even though I'm in a white community, because her family's black. So I get a little bit of maybe where they're coming from, and I learn a little bit. And so I think it would help race relationships, most definitely. Because if we're coming together, we're not just integrating at the lunch counter, we're integrating in families, in marriage, and we become closer together. So, of course, it would improve race relations, but it ain't going to end it. You can't, there's always going to be evil people. But like I said, we can suppress it, we can put it down, and we can you know, make it to where people are afraid to just come out with their racist ideas. You know, Mark got a question. Black women and white men are the perfect combination. I agree with you, sir. Yes, sir, they are. Yeah. All right, let's continue with it. And I want to give CNN a shout out because this is good information. This is a good talking points and stuff. And you know, this professor as a black man coming out and, you know, speaking truth, and you know, it says a lot. It says that he, you know, he's showing some humility, and he's speaking from logic and looking out for black women. That's good. um you know, there is such an imbalance, so really black women do need to open up their options to get a better quality man. And that's not saying I'm not putting black men down. I'm just saying there's less of them compared to black women, and they date and marry out 2 to 3 times as much. So, you know, and black women are the most segregated group, most loyal. And some say it's not so much that they're afraid to step out of that comfort zone and date out. So, a lot of variables there. But let's go ahead and finish this out.
A relationship can work between a working class man and a professional black woman, but overall, on average, it is the case that such relationships between professional black women who have college degrees and who earn a good salary and working class men who have unsteady employment and are not as well educated, those relationships are often conflict-ridden. They're more prone to divorce. They contribute to the fact that African Americans are more likely to divorce than any other group. More than half of African Americans divorce, maybe as many as 2 out of every 3. And these are not good outcomes. It would be better for women to find a man of their own class, even if he is of a different race.
Okay.
I'm not.
All right, let me stop there. Okay, I agree with his point. Okay. He's saying, okay, it can work to have a working class man and a high educated woman, or, there can be a deficit in income and the woman can make more. There are relationships like that do work. They do. But generally speaking, I would say that the man feels like less of because the woman's making more money. And, it's just natural that we are designed to be the provider. And I'll be honest with you, there was like 2 times my wife made more money than me, and it drove me nuts. I had to go get another job to make more money, and call it crazy, but I was raised to be the provider. So it kind of motivated me to do even better because I had to be that provider. Naturally, men, we got to be providers. We just do. We feel better when we're doing it. And I really couldn't just sit back and stay home while my wife works. I couldn't do that. And usually, a lot of times, women will lose some of the respect they have for their husbands if they're not, pulling their weight or making as much. Because women, they do like a man that provides. They like men that have resources, that work hard for them. And it's just a natural thing. So I think, you know, for women, it would make sense to go to at their economic level, the man that's at their level, economically, educational, uh, even if it's a man of a different race, because you're both at the same level. And I've always said this, that men have to get a woman that's at his level or a little bit below. Women, they can go for the top guy, and they should. They should practice hypergamy. They should go for the man with the most resources, the better man for the job. Okay, and that's going to hurt some feelings. And you know what? Some of us aren't the best man for the job. There's been many times I was not the best man, but that's okay. I can be a better man. And one time you keep working, you will be the better man. But it is part of life, and women should go for the best option, regardless of race. That's my opinion. Because us as men, we got to come up. We got to bring ourselves up. We're the providers. And in my opinion, it's not the woman's job to provide, it's the man's. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue this. I got another video after this. These same 2 guys. And give CNN another shout out for bringing this awesome commentary.
Asking it, but somebody else is. The question is marriage for white people? That's the title of a controversial new.
Oh, okay. I started it over. Sorry, guys. Let me take this down. All right. We finished that. I got the other video.
Black women, right? Graduate.
Okay. These are the same 2. And I think it's part of a different interview or a different show. Let me close that out for now. We'll watch it here in a minute. But as I was saying, and the point he was making, this is a Stanford professor, and he's looking at the numbers. He wrote the book, and this was back in 2011, so it's been a while. And his point is marriage for white people? And I would say no, it's not. Marriage is constructed by God. Marriage started back in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. That's where marriage started. Marriage is supposed to be for all people, men and women, regardless of the race. It's not a Eurocentric thing that white people came up with. No, it came from the Bible. It's biblical. People of different races and contents have been doing marriage for centuries. Okay? Marriage brings in the family, the man and woman, and creates stability. Marriage is for everybody. God wants it for everybody. Okay? I'm not going to get all religious, but I'm just saying, you know, marriage is the best option. It's better than dating or, you know, having affairs. That stuff might be fun and exciting. I get it, but it's not right. We should be married. We should have family and have family structure. It's better for our kids. Marriage is a holy creation from God. That's right. Topaz, it is. It comes from God. It don't come from a race or a culture. It comes from God. I accept all mail with different flavors, vanilla, marsh. All right. Well, after this, I'm going to have to get an extra helping of mayonnaise because, you know, us white people, we love mayonnaise. You know, it's true. I tried to play it off, but for us, it's like catnip. You know, when we see it, we can't get enough of it. And, you know, it goes good with the sandwich and it works good as sunscreen because, you know, when we get out in the sun, you know, we start burning up. And so, you know, so now you know the secret of mayonnaise. We eat it on our sandwich and use it as sunscreen. But where'd they get that stereotype? That's so funny. I might have to come on here and have some mayonnaise. Okay. Let me make sure I don't upload the same video we had last time. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, why isn't it coming on?
More black women, right? Graduating.
Okay, I think this is the right one. These are the same two guys. And this is a CNN interview with this Stanford professor that has the book is Marriage for White People. And he talks about, you know, the numbers and how black women should date out and marry out. And I think this one's titled "Is There Enough Black Men" or something. But we'll go ahead and listen to it.
We have more black women, right, graduating from college, 2-to-1 to black men. You throw in incarceration rates, you throw in the unemployment rates, and you're saying there's just not enough black men.
Well, there are not enough black men for all of the college-educated black women in particular that have the type of husbands that they want to have.
The type that they want to have. Now, I put this out, and we had this conversation yesterday, and a lot of people were chiming in, and I decided to ask for questions from viewers. And one of the questions, simply put, is, do black women deserve better than what black men have to offer? That seems like a...
I'm going to chime in and say yes. Black women, you deserve the best.
A very heavy question there, but is that essentially what it is? Do we not measure up to the quality of black women right now?
That's really a great way to put it. And I will admit that I usually think about it from the other perspective, which is that is it fair to ask black women to sacrifice their own happiness on the altar, as it were, of black men's struggles? And
what? Okay,
I think not.
What is that?
I think not.
Okay, what's that sacrifice necessarily when we're talking about, and I asked you this question yesterday, is it always marrying down if the person you're marrying doesn't make as much money or have the same?
All right, I'm stopping it right there. Somebody tell me in the comment section, who's always telling black women to marry down or date down? Isn't that what they're talking about? That's what they need to do. I'm just saying. These guys are talking about marrying down too. All right, let's continue.
Level of education. Could be a good guy.
Yeah, he could be a good guy, and lots of relationships work across classes. That's true. But it's also the case that for everyone, not simply for the women, but for the men as well, having a spouse who is matched to you educationally in terms of your outlook, your aspirations, your experiences, that's a positive thing. So it's actually not a great thing for the wife or the husband if they're in a mismatched relationship.
All right, and we know a lot of
Okay, good point. I'm glad he said that. Okay, marrying down, dating down is not good for anybody. Okay, it's not good for the woman because she's settling for less. Okay, she's not going to be happy. It's not good for the man because, you know, I don't think she's going to love him like she should because she's settling for what she really don't want. She's settling for less because, well, that's all I got to choose from. So is the love going to be really strong there if she feels like she had to settle, date down or marry down? I never ever wanted to be with a woman that had to settle for me. I want to be larger than life. I want to be, in her mind, the ultimate man. I want to be the ultimate husband. I want to be loved more than anything in the world. I don't want to be settled for. And it's unfair to anybody to be settled for. And these dating coaches out there, KS and the gang, you're doing men a disservice too, just like you're doing women. Having women lower their standards for these men ain't going to get the woman they want or should have, and vice versa. Nobody should settle for less, because you settle for less, you're not with who you want to be with. That should never be an option. Never settle for less. It creates problems. Your relationship's going to fail. Both parties ain't going to be happy. And I know you men out there, you got to understand, and I know you agree with me, you don't want a woman to settle for you. You want her to love you and think that you're everything. And I want to be with a woman, I think she's everything. My wife is everything to me. I didn't settle for her. I was blessed to have her. It's a blessing. It's not a settlement. We shouldn't even talk like that. It makes no sense. And it does justice for nobody. Nobody's really happy. You're just creating a failed relationship. Okay, let's continue. He's got his hands up.
conversations were started yesterday because of this topic, and I had one of these conversations at my house with Mrs. Holmes, and one of these things that keeps coming up is how do you, and the word I think my wife used was reprogram, if you will, black women, because you're suggesting they need to be open to dating outside of their race. But, a lot of black women just like brothers. They like a black man.
Right.
So
Right.
if you're just not
Right.
attracted naturally, why have them give up on finding a black man?
Right. That's a great.
Okay, let me address this, okay? He said some women just want black men, and true, that's fine, that's great. And I know two black women that are in my age, one's older than me, never been married, and that's all they wanted. And they never opened up their options. They're opening up now, but they're up in age. I don't know. I think a lot of it is not so much that's all they want. I think they're scared to step out of that comfort zone. I really do. I mean, we all have our preferences, but I think the biggest thing is fear, shaming, and afraid to jump out of that comfort zone. Afraid what people are going to think, afraid what your family's going to think. I think that's the majority. Most people I talk to tell me that. Now, there are some that only want to date within the race. There is. But, you're really lowering your options when it comes to someone at your level. But everybody has the freedom to go where they want, and they should. Um, you know, yeah, man, yeah, you're right, Loren. Yeah, some people are raised to think that we're all racist. Um, I've been called a racist just because I'm a white guy, and from people don't even know me. I always thought to be racist, you had to do something racist. I didn't know it just automatic. You're white, you're racist. But some people believe that. And some people are raised to believe that. So they have that fear too. They think we're crazy. They think we just sit around, eat mayonnaise, and fetishize women. And we're more violent than any group of men. And we've been told this. And when we fly off, we go nuts. And it's just a lot of craziness out there. But that's propaganda and people's opinions. But anyway, and that's not going to stop. But let's continue.
Question. And the issue, the way I think of that is that women have been asked to carry a great load. Black women shoulder a lot of the burden, in short, of black men's struggles. And I am asking women to put the burden down. Many women think that they're attracted to black men. They are attracted to black men. But attraction itself is complicated. And one of the things that I discovered in the course of writing this book is that there's a whole host of fears and desires and anxieties that animate black women's attraction to black men.
Okay, and on that, though, I got another question from a viewer, Judy, sent in and said, well, it sounds like you're saying, why should black women give up the good fight? You're not telling them to take on a project of fixing a man necessarily, but why just give up on black men?
Right, that is another great question. I actually am asking black women to give up the good fight because the fight hasn't been successful.
Okay, what do you think in the comment section? Should black women give up the good fight, or should they keep fighting? In my opinion, I think women should go where they have the best options. Okay, I think we need to get away from being in racial groups and only being with a certain group. I really think we all need to open up our options. Get to know people, know true people. Know what they're really like. You might find that white guy is an awesome guy. He's a nice guy. You might find that black lady is awesome. I found out that many moons ago, many years ago. Okay. I think black women are the best option. In fact, I know they are. That's why I married one. I mean, and I stepped out of my comfort zone as a teenager, and I think more of us that do that, we get to know people more and we have better options. And especially black women. Black women are, successful, educated. And I'll tell you this, the image of the black woman has changed quite a bit. People don't see her as crazy and over sexualized like you might see Tiffany Haddish in a movie. More are seeing them more like a professional woman. More are seeing them like who are those two ladies? People are seeing black women as professional. Like a highly educated woman like Condoleezza Rice. People are seeing black women in that image. Or, people are seeing them like in the boardroom in corporate America, being successful, highly educated. The things people say in my neighborhood about my wife, dang, she's smart, she's highly educated, she's got it together. They're not saying she's crazy. And maybe they say that because they don't want to make me mad, but no, I believe that's how they feel. And that's the image that's coming out. The truth is coming out. Hollywood's been trying for years to paint certain images on people. And it's not working for black women. We're seeing the truth. We're seeing the education. We're seeing the professionalism, and that's the image we see. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue.
The fight has not been successful. This is what a friend of mine, Carolyn Edgar, calls a Negro Improvement Project, which is what a lot of black women undertake, and often the results are not so great. So the strategy has been counterproductive. It doesn't help African Americans for us to have black men and black women locked in bad relationships and raising children in households where the parents quarrel and ultimately divorce. Well, that's not a win for anyone.
It is law professor Ralph Richard Banks. The book is called Is Marriage for White People? I think it went on sale on the 2nd this week, and it has started a conversation that I'm sure will continue.
Okay. All right. So those are the two videos I wanted to show you. They had good points. He's a law professor from Stanford, and this book was put out in 2011. Almost 11 years ago? So it's been out. And how much hate mail you think that man got? for saying writing his book and saying what he thinks. And he's putting out the truth. I mean, if we look at stats, it is what it is. Um, but there's always been a campaign to stop interracial relationships, especially with black women. For some reason, people do not want to see black women and white men get together. They don't. That's the most attacked group. Um, I think society's more accepting of the black man and white woman than black women and white men right now. I do believe that. From what I've seen, not just social media, but just media in general, and people what they think, and people that get upset and jealous and craziness. And the thing of it is black men have more access to women of other races. They're dating and marrying out twice as much, so they should be the least that's upset, I would think. Black women should be the one complaining because they're getting the short end of the stick. They're, you know, the biggest group in their community. They're putting forth the work. They're getting the education. They, they're putting it on their shoulders, and then they're shamed if they step out to another group of men. And I just think that's unfortunate and unfair and not right. Um, we gotta, and I believe we gotta look at stats for what they are. We gotta look at what's really going on. And in my opinion, we need to get out of that racial realm and just go for the best option, because your life depends on it. Straight up. I mean, ladies, the men you're with, is he a good provider? Does he work hard? Does he have ambition? Does he have goals? Does he, is does he work for corporate America? Or does he, work at Burger King? I'm just saying. I mean, and I'm not attacking people that work at Burger King, because you got to start somewhere. But is there ambition? Is there goals? And you don't have to be a rich man to be a provider. You just got to work. You got to put in the work, and you got to strive to be the best you can be. And nobody starts at the top. We all start at the bottom, you know? And ladies, to live the best life, you got to open up your options. Um, because it's so lopsided. And if you don't, you're stuck with what's there, and the men dictate what you get. They're going to tell you need to date down or marry down, because if you're only going for one group of men, you have no choice. They get the better option. They're going to get the highly educated black woman that's successful, and they don't really have to put in the work. That's just logic. You always benefit when you're the smaller group in any society. If there's more men than women, women benefit. If there's more women than men, the men benefit. It's just the way it is, you know? And I think, in society, we need the men have to be the competitors. It's just natural. And women need to go for the man with the best options, you know? And that's what women should do. That's what I'd want my daughters to do, to go for the best man for the job. I don't want my daughters settling for, some guy that makes 30,000 that could barely pay his rent. I want her to be with somebody that can take care of her and the kids and everything. And I'm not putting down the guy that makes 30,000, because he's got to start somewhere. But before you can be the best option, you got to earn the best option. And us as men, we don't look at it that way. Oh, she's a gold digger. She's going for that guy that makes 180,000 while I make 40,000. Well, yeah, why wouldn't she? It makes sense, right? I'm just saying. But like I said, you don't open up your option. You're that's about what you got. And I know women that didn't want to step out of that. Didn't want to open up their options, step outside the race, and they're still not married. And I don't know. Not saying that all are going to end up that way, but a lot do. And there's a lot of men that don't want to get married, that are happy just dating and having relationships their whole life. All black women deserve happiness with the white man. Okay. I'm not just, I'm not just talking about black women, but all women need to go for the best option. Period. I mean, that's what a woman that's got wisdom does. And us as men, we need to become the better option. Okay? Improvement. There's always room for improvement. Only broke men say the ones. Yeah. I mean, but it is what it is. But I just wanted to show you guys these two videos because I thought they had real good points. And that professor, he's got a lot of courage to write a book like that and to speak out like he did. And then the news commentator, he really couldn't attack him. He's like, yeah, well, he was just asking him questions, because the truth is out there. Um, and I think if men don't feel they have to compete, they won't. And if they feel they got you, why would they compete? They don't need to do nothing. And plus, it makes us better men to compete because we're striving to be better than we are. You know, and competition's a great thing. You have to work for what you get. You appreciate it more. You know, and when it comes to women, you're competing for her affection. You're competing to win her love, and when you do, you appreciate her. But if she comes running up to you and boom, no competition, most men ain't going to really. I don't know. A lot of men won't even desire her because it's too easy. Um, but we have to open up our options, and men, we got to compete. That's our nature. If we're not competing, we become weak. If we're not putting in the work, we become lazy. And if the women are doing the work and we're not, then it turns society upside down, and our kids come out messed up. A lot of confusion. But you know, let me go ahead and remove these videos. But a lot of good points in these videos. And like I said, that professor, he's looking at it logically. He's looking at it. He's seeing stats. He's okay. If women want a better option, they need to open their options. And even if you don't step out, just the fact you have an option. Do women compete? I hear this in the manosphere. Yeah, there's women that do compete for men. Yeah, they're out there. They'll compete. And I think in the black community, they have no choice but to compete because there's more women than men. Um, I don't think women should compete for a man. I really don't. I think men should compete for women. I really do. Um, you know, but there's times women will compete. You get a guy that's highly successful, got money, looks like a Brad Pitt or something. Women are going to want that guy because he looks like Brad Pitt and he's got money. I mean, and they will compete for that. That happens. Um, I just think it's more natural for men to compete for women. But you know, I think a lot of men want women to compete for them. A lot of men want to be the desired one. They do. And I think in society, I think we're seeing where men get turned down and they end up assaulting women and doing horrible things because they can't take rejection because they believe they're the desired one, that they're the beautiful one, and when they get turned down, they lose their mind. And it shouldn't be that way. You know, us as men, we should compete. And as a woman, if the young lady in it isn't interested, let her go. You can't be mad at a woman because she didn't choose you. You can't be mad at her for choosing the best option, and I wish more men would see that and be more grounded and quit thinking they're the prize, would be better off. And probably more women would choose these men if they were grounded, you know. Just saying. She spent 65, you know. But yeah, women compete. I think the men should be the ones competing, but it is what it is. But I think for women, you need to open up your options. I think us as society is I think we all need to open up our options. I think we all need to go for the best option. I know I did, and it wasn't a Becky or a Karen. No disrespect to them, but I went for the best option. It happened to be someone that don't look like me. And sometimes it'll be that way. That's some What is your opinion on dating sites? Okay, my opinion on dating sites. Okay, I don't really have one. And I'll tell you why. I've never used a dating site. Um, I got married back in 1994 to my wife. So and before then, I never used a dating site. Back in the day, they were there, but it wasn't a big thing like it is now. I've heard, and I can just go on what I've heard people say because I don't have experience with dating sites, but I've heard some people say it's a good thing. They found the love of their life, and I've heard some people say it's not that good. I mean, I don't know. I think some sites are better than others, um, but I don't have enough experience to really give an opinion on that. I've done things pretty much old school. Any woman I've dated, I had to approach face to face. Um, and I wouldn't even know how to do the dating site if I was in that situation. I guess you create a profile and you get some hits if they're interested, and then you contact them. I guess. Um, I don't know. I guess it's just another way of meeting people. It works for some people it don't. I know they got dating sites for everything. I know they got certain racial groups that want to date. I, I guess they got interracial dating sites. If you're in the interracial thing, you can join one of those dating sites. Uh, I've seen commercials of, I don't know, cowboys out there. I don't know, country people dating or black people dating, white people, Asians. I get they got dating sites for everybody. I guess it's a big money maker. I think from what I heard, dating sites can be misleading. From what I heard, um, one person was telling me at work, he was saying that you go in, you create a profile, and you get so many hits, and you might get like 20 women that hit hit up your profile. You think, damn, these women are interested in me, and might boost your ego a little bit. But there's so many thousands of people that might not be that many. I don't know. It might be misleading in that way, maybe. Uh, but that's all I go on is what I hear about dating sites. I've never used one. Uh, is marriage a job? Hello, best man. Yeah, marriage is a job. I mean, marriage you got to work at. Um, and you want the best man for the job. If you're a woman, you want the best man for the job, of course. Same thing with the man. You want the best woman for the job. There's certain things you got to look for. As a woman, you got to make sure he can provide. Is he hardworking? Is he a man of faith? Are you a woman of faith? Do you want that in your family? Um, there's important things you got to research. A lot of times people just look on how attractive they are. Are they fun to be with? They don't dig deeper sometimes. And usually when we're younger, we don't do that. We're just worried about how she looks and is she fun to be with? And bam, we're in. But you miss out on what kind of woman she really is. Is she really loyal? Is she a good mother? Would she make a good wife? Or, or is she just out having fun? Same thing with the guys. And that's where vetting comes in. But yeah, dating sites, I really don't know. Um, I've heard good and bad on them. You know, um, but in today's world, sometimes people got to use dating sites, and especially sometimes when you're in the interracial dating, you might be in a neighborhood where there ain't black women around, or if you're a black woman that likes Asian guys, you might not be around that neighborhood. I don't know. That might be where a dating site works for you. Um, all I would say is, just be cautious with it. Um, find out which are the best, safer sites, because you can get weirdos on dating sites. Just like you meet weirdos out on the street that you approach. You can meet weirdos in a church. I mean, no place is really safe. That's why you got to vet. Uh, you know, but open up those options. Everybody should. You might find out that this woman of a different race or man is actually pretty awesome. And you might find out that some of those stereotypes and generalizations ain't true. And they're not, except the mayonnaise thing. That's true. We love mayonnaise. In fact, I got to send my wife to the store to get 5 more jars. You got to see my pantry. It's all mayonnaise. I eat nothing but mayonnaise. No, just kidding. Okay, I put the link up there. If you guys want to come up, you can. I'll leave it up there for a little bit. And sorry I was late. I was 7 minutes late, guys. I'm gonna quit telling you I'm not going to be late because I'm late. I don't know if it's nerves. I think I get nervous before I come on because then I got to use the bathroom. Then I got to get up. And then everything happens when I'm trying to set up to go live. I don't know what it is. And today was a total disaster when I was trying to do the prayer meeting today. My camera wasn't working. And then I don't know what was going on. But anyway, someone hop up. I'll leave it open for a little bit if you guys want to jump on. If not, that's fine too. Sometimes you just don't feel in the mood. But I always like to leave it open because sometimes people want to come on and say a few things. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Sunday. Couple good football games, huh? Um, the Bengals beat the Chiefs in overtime. That was a good game. And then the Rams and 49ers, that was a real good one. Went down to the wire. So it's going to be the Rams and Bengals for this Super Bowl, huh? Awesome. Hey, Deja Cat. Hello, Corey. How's it going? Hello, Corey. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had one of them muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Bengals is Mark's team. Hey, Mark, your team's one game away from a Super Bowl, huh? How about that? My team lost in the first round, them jokers. Made me mad. Like, what the heck? Oh, well. Just a game.
Just a game.
Yeah.
Hey, Brent,
Yes.
was it me or was that interviewer? He sounded kind of put off by that guy's book.
I think he was, but yeah, it sounded like he was like, oh come on, why do you? But you know what? He was speaking facts. He's speaking truth, and and if you look at it logically, if there's more women than men, the men get the best results. They run the table. They do. It's with any group. So he made perfect sense. Looking at numbers and stuff, and that book was put out in 2011, and I yeah, that interview. He's like he didn't really want to cover it. Like he's like, okay.
Yeah, he seemed kind of like he was put on the spot or something.
Yeah, like he's talking about him. Is like, they're talking about men in general.
Hmm.
Yeah, like he was on trial.
Could you imagine though? You've got this guy, high profile interviewer,
Uh-huh.
and he's saying the exact same thing that has held women in pain for decades.
Yeah, and
That's kind of
the thing
mind blowing.
it is, and what gets me is, I have respect for the dude because he came out and he said it. He's speaking truth. It wasn't like, because most people don't do that. They'll like kind of protect their group of men. And he was telling women to do the opposite. Like, hey, this is what's best for you. And
Well, he obviously must have daughters.
yeah, and well, I don't know if he does or not. Probably, but I mean, his wife is black, so he's not. He didn't date out or marry out, but
Hmm.
he was looking at it from the numbers because it really dating and marriage is actually a numbers game. It really is. If you can get out of that racial barrier, I mean, there's so many options out there. You know, um,
Hmm.
I just and for black women, they're in they're in the smallest box, and it just seems like they need to open up because they're not really getting a fair shake. Um,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it just
stay with us. We're violent. We're in jail. I mean, I'm not saying all black men are like that because I'm not that stupid. Um,
yeah,
but because I've worked with them. I mean, we worked side by side. We all made good money. Um, but yeah, it seems like to me, it seems to be the hood syndrome. You know, they don't want nobody. They don't want the women to actually consider leaving the hood.
um, I think I don't know.
I'm just guessing here because I don't
I
know.
I tried to wrap my arms around it because I'm looking at it statistically. Black men and they date out and marry out twice as much as black women. I think sometimes three times as much.
Hmm.
Um, they're open their options full throttle. They're going for Becky Mailing and every group of women out there, and it seems that there's no smoke on them for doing it, but when black women do it, it's a problem all of a sudden, and it seems weird. No, it don't make sense logically. It's like, wait a minute,
No,
these
it's not
women,
logical.
it don't. You should be happy they're opening up their options because, and if you're mad at them doing it and you're doing it, you're a hypocrite. Um,
That's the biggest thing that really kind of like, okay, so all these men are doing as they please, and these women who have no ties and owe them nothing, and yet they're telling these women not to. That
yeah.
on what planet does that equate to even giving it a acknowledgement? It's just like, shut up.
Well, to me, I look at it as abuse. I look at it as abuse to women. If you're doing what you want to do and you're telling them, and I'm not saying all,
Yeah,
because some men, they're living their lives, they don't care. But what I'm saying is, when you look at it, it's abuse. You're telling these women, hey, stay in your own box. If you date out or marry out, you're a sellout. you're, they get shamed.
Who's the bigger sellout?
No, but what I'm saying is, they'll put that on them, and then they'll be shamed for it, and then
Mm.
and make them feel like they're giving in to the enemy because we're so evil, and all the propaganda we fetishize. You hear that all the time,
Oh
and when
yeah.
white men when they you know, fly off the handle. They're more abusive than any other man. They treat you I mean, they make us like such monsters. No wonder black women are afraid to step out of that comfort zone. Look what they're being told. Shoot. If I was told that, I'd be like, gosh dang, these people are crazy. They're evil. You know, I mean,
Yeah, but
maybe,
and yet the biggest serial killer in all history was a black man.
yeah, well,
I've seen that and I'm like,
yeah,
really?
I
You
mean,
never even hear about the guy.
well, the thing of it is, you got to understand that there are evil men in every group, and
Oh yeah.
you can't just take one example and say we're all like that. I've seen videos. This one woman said, "Well, white men are the most serial killers. They're the ones that do the most uh domestic violence." And I'm like, yes, because we're the majority of people.
Yeah, there's
You got
88% more of us.
Yeah, so of course we're going to have more higher numbers, but if you stop right there, it makes it look bad, right? But
Oh,
if you
yeah.
flip the script, and I'm not saying one man is better than the other. No, I'm not going there. But
No.
what I'm
No.
saying is, if you flip the script, you could say we're the most successful. Well, yeah, we're the bigger majority. So, of course, we're going to be the most successful and the most failures because there's more of us.
Hmm.
Sometimes people don't look at statistics, they just look at raw numbers.
Yeah.
And, but it's a scare tactic. It gets women, thinking another group of men is crazy or abusive, and why would they want to date out if they start believing that? Um,
I imagine that there are probably some white guys that are back south, in the south.
uh huh.
And maybe like northern Idaho. I've heard stories about northern Idaho being racist,
Yeah, I mean,
Aryans and stuff.
yeah,
But most of that sticks to college towns and university towns because that's where those passionate people go. I mean, I'm over an hour away from a college town and it's quiet down here.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's racial hate groups all over. I mean, but I don't really see. I had some troll tell me I was a white supremacist, and I'm like, buddy, you don't even know what a white supremacist is. I've actually dealt with them, and white supremacists will not date a black woman. They will not. They won't.
No.
It, she has to be white, pure white, and they believe they're superior in every way. And in fact, they hate people like me because they think I'm killing off our race. That I'm
Lord
No,
have
I
mercy.
mean, I've had people
Oof.
tell me this, that I'm killing my race because I'm with my wife. I've had actual white supremacists that people throw that word around. Do you really know what one is? And
Mm.
those people that are really like that have hate. They will hurt you. They they hate me more than they do black people because they look at me as destroying the race. Are you No, I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I do.
I mean, it's stupid, but that's how they believe. They believe that you're killing off your own race.
I can't wrap my head around that one.
Yeah, I'm not killing nobody. I procreate with a black woman. Yeah, our kids ain't going to be pale white. Yes, I mean, because you're mixing the two, our genetic traits together.
Hmm.
But I don't know. People just got their ideas, and
Was it Sandy's dad that said that she needs to open her options to a white guy?
yeah, he
I
actually
thought that
did.
was so cute.
Yeah, yeah. She, he told her. He says, it don't matter the man. Just find you a good man. And my wife, before we got married, before I met her, she don't really talk about old boyfriends, but sometimes it comes out. She's just saying, they didn't treat me good. She said, I
Mm,
because of her brother that my brother-in-law, he dated mostly white women, and he wasn't a good judge of character when it came to women, and they treated him bad. They did bad stuff. So she was like, "Well, I ain't going to get it with a white guy because white people are nuts," and that's what she thought.
yeah.
And her dad talked to her and says, and then her boyfriends, were treating her bad, and they didn't want a
Mm,
commitment. They were cheating and stuff, and so she gave me a chance, and boom, here we are, many years down the road. Um, but yeah, her
mm-hmm.
and my wife's family, they don't care about the racial thing. They just want. They're kind of like my parents, They just want us to find somebody that loves us. That's all they wanted. I was
Mm-hmm.
talking to my mom and dad, and my mom and dad, they told me, they said, we knew you were going to marry a black woman before you did. Just how I was acting. And I asked them, I said, did you find it odd that I had an attraction to him? And my mom was like, well, it might have seemed a little odd, but we never thought it was wrong. We thought maybe it was a phase. But then,
And
we
it didn't
found,
phase out.
yeah, there, my mom was like, well, we just knew that that's where your heart was. And we just prayed that, you know, you were going to be with a black woman. We just prayed that you found one that truly loved you and that would be a good wife to you. And
Hmm.
I thought that was pretty neat, them telling me that. And my mom and dad were teenagers when I was born, and they actually got divorced when I was 2.
Hmm.
And my stepmom recently passed away, but I have relationships with my mom and dad, and they're friends. They don't hate each other or nothing. In fact, when we have gatherings and stuff, they're both over here, and I
Hmm.
talk to them, and they just, my dad was 19 and my mom was 17, and they just got together, fell into lust, and I'm a product of it. And thank God my dad didn't, run off and leave me and my mom alone.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm very fortunate of that, but it's just interesting. It's funny how your parents know you better than you do. My dad knows every move I made before I made it. It's crazy. Uh,
Yeah, I've told my parents, my brothers, my close friends, my kids. It's like you're gonna see me with a wife that's not the same color as you. And they messed with me for a while, but and then when I didn't change, and I'd always comment about a black lady downtown or something,
uh,
and they look at me and it's like, "You're serious, aren't you?" And I just looked up and said, "Oh, I'm not telling you just to tease you. I'm warning you. Just
yeah.
don't act stupid because I don't care if I talk to you. If I got hurt, moving on.
There you go. Right?
This is my life. Get over it."
Yeah. People ask me that all the time. When you married your wife, what if your family didn't accept it? What if I said, well, then they just don't accept it. I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah,
This
their
is my
loss. So are
wife.
me.
I just,
Yeah,
what,
absolutely.
but my parents never told me I couldn't do it. They never tried to discourage me. They just like, well, that's where he's going. Okay, you know. Um, and maybe that's why I could speak so freely about it and don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
You know, I just I was raised to go choose my own path. Be that individual. Do what you want to do. I don't have, and that's the thing about opening up your options. And you don't owe anybody nothing. Black women, you don't owe anybody anything. I would say that. I don't care if the men look like you. You don't owe them jack. You owe
Mm-mm.
it to yourself to make the best decision. And I believe all of us as individuals don't owe nobody nothing. I don't have to do what my community says. Why would I? I mean, I
Could you
would be in
imagine
such.
living trying to please other people?
Oh God.
No, that's a waste of life.
Yeah, but there's people out there that try to do that, live by societal norms, and you know, I just choose your own path. You'll
Becky
be
and
happier.
Karen.
Becky and Karen.
Well, just saying.
Yeah.
Mm. Is
Nah,
anybody going to join me up here? Or is it just us two?
I think it's just us.
Okay.
That's cool though.
You sound like you're doing a lot better, Brent.
Oh, I am. I feel great now. Oh God, I tell you, last week when I hit that COVID, the
Mm.
first 2 days were horrible because I was just so achy. I had no energy. I was laying in. Well, at first my wife wasn't feeling good, so I was taking care of her, and
Hmm.
then I got sick, and she kind of got over it. So then she was taking care of me, and then and my daughter. Well, she was the first to get it, and
Mm.
all three of us had it. And at work I had to call in. I said I don't feel good, so I went to get tested. Just as justification,
Hmm.
and because I took like 4 days off. Well, no, I got 5. I took a couple days, and I called work, and I said I don't feel good. I got a fever. Um, I had a temperature. So and my wife wasn't feeling good, so we went in and got tested, and we did it Thursday, and then that Sunday they called us and says, "Yeah, you guys got COVID."
It was the
So
original, not the Omicron or nothing.
I don't know. I don't know if they just said COVID.
Well, then it must have been the original. That's the one that has the most body aches.
Yeah, I think it was the original because it was like flu-like symptoms. Had a
Yeah.
temperature, real achy. You just don't want to get out of bed. Your
A lot of
appetite is,
body aches and shaky.
yeah. You got the cold chills.
Hmm.
Um, you didn't feel like eating. I
Yeah.
mean, I know I've lost some weight just because my appetite was gone. I just didn't feel like eating or not. I was forcing myself to eat. Me and my wife were just forcing ourselves. Okay, we got to eat a little something.
Yeah, you got to
Got to
feed a
keep our
fever,
strength.
starve a cold.
And then we were drinking fluids, and we bought those vitamin C packets. We were taking those each day. Uh,
Mm.
some vitamins, try and get some zinc in there, vitamin C, vitamin D, and I think that helped us out because after a couple days started feeling better. I'm still a little congested now, but I feel a lot better. Uh,
Mm.
but I had to get tested. Then we had to go get retested, make sure we still don't have it, so I could go to work. And but yeah, I feel much better.
Good.
I mean that's
Hey,
why I was out for a while.
I got a question.
Yes.
When everybody on your channel and people that listen that, don't contribute to the chat or nothing, when they all start to get married and send you the wedding picture, what are you going to do with the collage?
I don't know. I'll post it on the page.
There you
Maybe
go.
we'll have like a wedding live stream. Maybe we could have like 10 interracial marriages going on at once.
Oof. That's going to be a big panel.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Okay, we're over here in
Playing the newlywed game or something.
you know what? I still want to do the dating game, but uh I just have to get participants in it. Um I think I tried it before. We did a private one, and it was fun, but it never took off.
Hmm.
And I would like to do like a fun one if we can in the future. Maybe just do an avatar one because I don't want to show people's actual faces and stuff because you get trolls in there. I just want to do it like a fun deal.
Hmm.
If people really wanted to do the dating game, we could do like a private stream if they want to see
Hmm.
what each other looks like. But I don't know. I
I still crack up over that interviewer. He looked offended.
yeah, like he didn't want to cover that story.
No, yeah, he looked offended. you ever wish you could just like drop in and laugh when the mic is on or something every time his face changed?
Can you imagine going on the show and say, "Oh, hey, sir, can you repeat that? Why do you think? Why do you think that is?" Or, "Oh man,
Just to kind of grind it in.
yeah,
Well, you could tell he was against it. It was obvious, painfully obvious.
yeah." But the other guy, the professor, was like he was logical about it,
Yeah, he was
and
intelligent. I liked him.
yeah, it seemed like he was like, "Look, this is what's happening. You need to do this for the better option." And the numbers just don't add up, to
Isn't
stay in
isn't
that
that a
box.
perfect description of a man, of two different men? The
Yeah,
one is a selfish thinker and the other one is a problem solver.
yeah,
I
it,
mean,
it
ladies, if
yeah,
you're listening, that's a vetting tool right there.
yeah. The professor had his head together. The professor wasn't coming from a prideful perspective. He was looking at it logically. He was looking at the numbers, and he was telling the ladies, for your best option,
Yeah.
this is what you should do. It's like he's talking to his daughters, like, hey,
Hmm.
I kind of look at it that way because, when it comes to dating, you know, I'm all in. When my wife deals with our daughters, I always stay out of it because that's a girl thing, that's a woman thing. My wife raises the daughters, and me and my son, we do our thing. But when it comes to women issues, my wife handles that. But when it comes to dating, oh no, that's my part. I got a lot to say in that, and you're going listen.
Yep.
Oh, Dad, we know no. Sit down, shut up, listen,
We know.
because
Oh, I hate that.
yeah, well, when they're
Mm.
teenagers, they know everything.
Yeah, I went through three of them.
But usually girls, they're easier to mold than boys. When they turn into men, they think they got the answers. I don't know, knuckleheads. And I look back and I was just like that.
Yeah, I was just like her, worse.
And my son is like, "Oh, come on, son." And
Mm.
daughters are like, they absorb it. I don't know. Maybe I guess they mature faster. They say they do, and I think they
Well,
do
you kind
because
of gotta wait for the boys to get up to at least the age of 25. 30's better.
yeah, it's like we got to be knocked down in the dirt a few times till we finally get it. Like, okay, Dad
Mhm.
was right. I know I went through some painful stuff. Dad, I should have listened to you. Yeah, son, you should have. But
Isn't that the lesson of humility? It seems like the boys are slower to catch on to the humility.
yeah, but when it hits us,
Yeah, you don't
it's
forget.
yeah. And you know what? I look back and I'm glad I was humiliated a few times because it made me better. It made me realize I don't have the answers. I'm not all that.
Nope.
And dad was right and I should have listened. And, but it scares me because then when I'm talking to my son, here we go. So it's like, oh man, this is going to be me, at a younger age. But
I
I
still
mean,
get the phone calls from Fort Campbell. My youngest is over there.
oh yeah,
And I've had to put money in his bank because he ran out of money already. So,
yeah, life lessons. I
yeah.
I, I got to go to Fort Bragg next week.
Oh, that's next week already.
Yeah, me and my son are riding back together
Well, at least
from
you got over that COVID thing before you
oh
had to
yeah,
do
I
that.
told I told my wife, I said, "You know what? It's good we went through it when we did so when he comes home that we don't give it to him." And we've aired out the house. We've washed every blanket and sheet and I mean, we've you
Went into
know,
attack mode.
yeah, and the days it was like 50 degrees, we opened up all the doors, all the windows, let the wind just blow through the house,
Mm.
get whatever cruds out. Uh, just wiping down with sanitizing wipes all over. I just,
Mm.
just precautions.
Yeah,
But
I've had the COVID and the Omicron both.
oh, did you?
Yeah, I didn't get the vaccination. I'm kind of sensitive to them things anyway.
Yeah, well, people are. people are getting them. I mean, getting it with the vax.
Hmm.
My
Well, yeah,
daughter
you just
was
getting it.
vaccinated and she got it,
Hmm.
and I wasn't, and I got it,
I
and my
guess I'm just
wife.
too stubborn.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it's just like the flu. I mean, there's so many variants of it. If you get a vaccination, there's probably another strain that'll get you. I mean, the flu's like that. People get flu shots all the time, and sometimes you get some, you still get it. Um,
Yeah,
that
I'm not that much of a hypochondriac.
I just think what we need to do is just practice good hygiene, I guess, and just eat healthy. Put good stuff in your body.
Hmm.
Um, you know, um,
I just need to find me a beautiful black wife that likes to cook the same kind of foods I eat. I mean, I could go barbecuing all the time. That wouldn't hurt my feelings. But
well, I do it all the time when I'm off and stuff. My wife's a really good cook, though. I mean, oh my god.
yeah, we can tell, Brent.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not hurting for any meals. I tell you. Yeah, well, I mean, my mother-in-law's a great cook too, and I mean,
Mm.
she would like Christmas time and stuff. My mother-in-law, she would take the kids. Okay, you're going to make this. She'd make them cook.
Good.
She made my son make a pecan pie from
There you go.
scratch, and he was like, "Grandma, why do you want me to make this? I'll just do it." And now, and, and now, in the holiday, he makes the pecan pie.
That's a good grandma. I like her.
Yeah, he makes a good one too. I'm just like, wow, from scratch too, and it's like, wow.
There's nothing wrong with boys learning how to cook. I learned how to
Yeah.
cook real young.
Well, I never did. My wife seasons the food and I throw it on the grill.
I remember I was 8 years old and we went out and killed a bunch of frogs. And we cooked frog legs in my mom's cast iron skillet. It grossed her out. Them little suckers were in there kicking around.
Oh well.
It was funny because we have no sisters. We're just brothers. And so
Yeah.
it was kind of like watching a girl squirm and we didn't care.
Oh. Thelma asks, "What's the favorite food that Sandy cooks?"
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
I see your eyes drifting off there.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry now. I better.
Yeah, now you got to think about it.
Say. I mean, I don't know what my favorite thing is she cooks.
Too many favorites, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell Corey I ain't cooking Bugs Bunny or
Is that Vortex?
Yeah, you see it there?
No, I can't see the chat, but I just know how she talks.
Oh no, I put it on the highlight. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think what I mean, she makes catfish good. She lasagna she makes really good. Uh I I don't know what's my favorite though.
Hmm.
All I know is I'm fat and I'm happy, so
That's a good life.
right?
Me, I'm single. I've been eating keto for 2 years straight.
Keto.
Yeah, that's just a lazy bachelor food. I eat one meal a day and 3 shakes.
Oh,
Basically meat, protein.
oh, okay. Yeah, you know what I've been trying to do? It's helped me lose some weight, and I just need to stay with it. What I did is I got me a Ninja, the blender, where
Hmm. Like a
and
silver bullet blender thing.
yeah, and I've been juicing. I've been taking like onions, lettuce, carrots, cucumbers, and then throwing some fruit to give it flavor, and just liquefying that and taking that to work. And through the day, I would just drink that through the day,
Hmm.
and I felt better, like I had more energy, and I don't get as hungry. Because around lunchtime, I'd be eating and stuff, and eat less food that way too. And I'm putting
Hmm.
good stuff in my body, like vegetables and fruit, and
Hmm.
I'm just and I think what's good about it too is it's already liquefied, so your body absorbs it right away.
Yeah.
So I've been trying. I've lost some weight doing that, so I'm trying to get the discipline to stay with it, because I think that will help.
Yeah. The I don't know if you could call it a diet because I'm never hungry. Usually, when I say the word diet, I think of, you're half starved. But
Yeah, and
this was Schwarzenegger's formula, and old Arnold.
yeah.
But I can easily lose 10 pounds a month eating like this.
Oh wow.
So I can go through the holidays. I eat without guilt. When the holidays are over, I go back on the keto and just take it right back off. That's not exercising either.
Huh. The keto diet, huh?
Well,
I've
there's different versions of it. I'm using the one Schwarzenegger. It's his training diet.
Oh, okay.
So you're not hungry. You can't be hungry and build muscle.
Well, yeah, he had to have a strict diet too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Topaz
you
says bone broth is good along with juicing. Okay, I'll try that.
mm,
But I juicing, I feel good when I do it. And it's like, and I've actually lost weight doing it, and I'm not hungry as much. And I think my body's getting the right kind of foods. It's getting that natural foods,
hmm.
instead of the processed garbage we eat all the time. And
Oh yeah.
and then when I cook meat, I do it outside in the backyard. Like my wife will, season some meat, a brisket, or some steaks, or I try to stay away from red meat. I try to just do that once a week so my body can digest it.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't want to give it up altogether, but I think once a week, that's what I've been told.
Hmm.
So your body can break it down and eat more lean meats like chicken, fish. Uh,
Yeah, chicken and broccoli will take weight off fast.
oh really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I bet. But I've been juicing. That's taken off some weight, and I feel better through the day. I'm not hungry all day. I just, because I used to, eat at work because I get hungry, and then come home and just pig out on a meal because I was so freaking hungry from working all day. And I
Hmm.
think the juicing is just starting to equalize that to where I'm not putting so many calories in my body.
Yeah, it's the keto was all about, when you're losing body weight, that you're not losing your protein, and your body's not turning on its own muscle,
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
muscle's what burns the excess up.
yeah. And your body needs to constantly be fed too.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so you can't starving it don't really help it. And
Well, if you're fasting, that's okay. But
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, in a spiritual level, praying and fasting, yeah, I mean, uh
not for
but it
months on end.
yeah. Uh yeah. Wow,
Well,
man.
you about time to go to bed?
Yeah, I need to get up. I need to go to work in the morning and
It's
back to
only
work.
8:36 here, so I'm
Well, it's only 9:36, but
yeah.
I think I'll just turn in early and go snuggle up next to Sandy and tell her what a great guy I am. I mean, tell her I love her. Oh, thanks. Right? So,
All right, well, I'll say goodnight and drop back to the chat while you close this out.
Oh, all right, Corey. Thanks for coming on, brother. It's good talking to you.
Yep, I
And
enjoyed it.
hey, what do you think of this jersey? You like this one, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I have to send that to you. That's the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. I like their logo.
Yep. I've
Yeah.
made a couple of swords. I really like the Spartan helmet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to drop back.
Okay. All right. We'll see you, Corey. Thanks for coming on, brother. It's good talking to you. All right. Please stay on the chat longer, please. Oh, I don't know. I got to get to work in the morning. Uh, Corey, how far is what? Oh, thanks, Carolyn. Thanks, Karen. I'm very lucky to have Sandy. That's the truth. I don't know if she's so lucky to have me. I think she just maybe she dated down. uh, all right. Well, Corey, sir, you have a good night. It's good talking to you. Mark, congratulations on your Bengals. Awesome overtime win, huh? You think they can take out the Rams for the Super Bowl? We'll see how that plays out. It should be a good Super Bowl, though. Oh, it's 4:36 in the UK. Enjoy night having. Definitely. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. I'm excited for it. Even though my team didn't get there, I'll watch the Super Bowl. Yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to close up here. I got to get to work and stuff. And this has been an awesome day of live streams. My first one was a disaster. It took me forever to go live today. I was having problems with my camera. I finally figured it out. I guess I had the format my memory card because I was making videos and I couldn't download it to the computer for some reason. So I did a format and I put it on. I didn't show it because it was, but I was able to finally get it together. Um, no, wait, Mark. Oh, we gotta buy the book. I guess you're going for the Rams. Is that right? Thanks. Oh, you increased your subscriber count. Awesome, Mark. Good to hear it. That's awesome. And that's what we should do, increase each other. If you guys out there in the chat, if you have a YouTube channel or something, let me know what it is. And I'll go and visit and subscribe to you and, participate in your live streams and stuff. Because I think it's good that we come together, those of us that have YouTube channels and stuff, and just kind of build up on each other, lift each other up. Oh, yes, J10. Yes. I will be live streaming. Well, let me see if I could live stream. I will have videos on my trip. And when I get to the hotel at night, I will do a live stream and show you guys our progress. I'm going to document the trip from North Carolina all the way to New Mexico. And, that's going to be a few days. And I'm going to stop. I'll pick up my son in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and then we'll be driving. Probably and then we'll stop. I'll visit my daughter in Kansas City, and then I'll be making a trip, and I'll document the trip all the way. Uh, that's almost clear across the United States, you know. So yeah, I will be documenting that. Um, I will try to live stream in the car with my phone. I'll do a little bit of that, but I will be going live and stuff. If nothing else, I'll be on the hotel live streaming, so yeah, I will document that. I'm by the book is a Rams fan, LA native. Okay. Well, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so you know how upset I am. But I don't know. I like to see the Rams and the Bengals. That'd be a good one. Who am I going for? I don't know. I do like the Rams. I'm glad they beat the 49ers. I'm not a 49er fan. Ugh. They beat my team out, so I was glad to see them lose. I don't have YouTube. I do have a podcast. Okay. Everybody check out Thelma's podcast. She does have a podcast. Oracle Tea? Is that what it is? Um Dallas Cowgirls. Okay. Watch it there. Uh, oh, you're sending me a copy of the new book? Okay, Corey, yeah. I'll send you yeah, send me that. I'll send you this jersey. Since you like the old helmets and stuff. Yep. Anyway, let me go ahead and close this. Guys, it's been awesome tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed those videos I showed, and I'm going to give another shout out to CNN because they put that together. It's pretty nice. And that Stanford professor, I'd like to thank him for his honesty and putting out the stats. Um, and I hope you guys got something out of this show. And he was speaking facts. And I think in today's world, we need to open up our options. We need quality people to marry quality people. I believe that. Um, you know, regardless of their racial group, you can find love with people that don't look like you. I did, and it's not hard. Um, but anyway, guys, thank you for watching. God bless you and your families. And next time I live stream, I'll probably do it Saturday night. Let me see. If I get off work early this week, I'll do a live stream. I don't want to do it too late because those of you guys on the East Coast, have to stay up really late, especially on a weekday. But I will put a couple videos out there, like I did last week, and then Saturday night I'll do a live stream, and then Monday the 7th I'll be picking up my son, or he'll be picking me up at the airport. We'll be driving in his car. But we'll be coming home, and I'll document the trip. It'll be fun. And he'll be staying with us for 30 days before he goes to Korea. So, get little time to spend with our son before he goes overseas. So that'll be fun. Um, thanks, Karen. Okay. Yeah, but I'll go. I'll at least go live Saturday this week. It might be a late one, but we'll see how that goes. And I will be documenting that trip. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. God bless you and your families. And I'll see you next time on another live or video. And if you have any content you would like me to cover or talk about, just email me. The email's in the description box. It's also on my community page. So if you have any things you'd like me to talk about or share, or if you have any advice or criticism, just send me an email. And if you need me to pray for you, also, please send the email. And I'll talk to you later. Oh, and the one I sent the Bible to, did you get it? If you got it, I'm not going to say your name, but if you got your Bible, please send me an email. If not, send me an email so I can fix it or track it, or even send you another one if you didn't get it. But let me know if you got the Bible. I know the person I sent the jersey got the jersey, but the Bible I don't know about yet. But yeah, let me know. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you soon. In a couple days, I'll put up a video or something, and then Saturday night I'll do a late night live, and then Sunday the prayer meeting. I don't know. I'll probably do it in North Carolina at the hotel. It might be a weird time because I don't know what time I'm going to get in. Because I got to fly from here to Dallas and then Raleigh, Durham, and so it might take me a little while to get there. It'll. I think I get in like at 7 at night or something, 7 or 8. So it might take a little while, but I will still have the prayer meeting Sunday, and then I'll document that trip too. And I'll do a late night Saturday night live. All right. Anyway, good night, everybody. God bless you and your families, and I'll see you soon.